Hi, we're live. It's Sunday night after dark, and I'm Rich Lieberman. Do you like my new lighting? Does that look a little bit better? I in this beautiful studio that was designed by some of the finest of Hollywood, you know, and I'm excited. I That was a little joke, by the way, that last sentence, but uh, it's after dark. I'm Rich Lieberman. I'm going to make an adjustment to the camera and get me a little bit better. Look at this, for God's sakes. Is that it? Do I look like the poison man on the bottle of poison or not, or whatever? So I'm here to talk about a lot of things, and you folks who are coming over from YouTube, we haven't officially gotten started yet because I said I was going to be on in about 10 minutes, which was about 3 minutes ago. So I'm just kind of waxing poetic and fine tuning my lovely V8 engine before we officially go on the air and talk about everything. It's a Sunday evening and everybody is tired. And I mean that both literally and figuratively, as we are live on YouTube. I have to get that out. You can become a subscriber to my channel. I do the only live programming here on YouTube. It's kind of like a variety show, right? A little bit of Carol Burnett, a little Dean Martin, a little Texaco, a little self reflection. We have comedy, we have commentary, we have information, reflection, all of that, and it's all a good time. All we need is a couple of chocolate milkshakes, maybe a burger or two, maybe a little Chinese food. Sunday night, folks, it's my favorite time. Even as a kid, right? Even as a kid, Sunday night was superior to Friday and Saturday. Friday night, a little overrated because, yeah, you're going to wake up the next day, hopefully. It's always a good start when you wake up the next day. And Saturday, right? Saturday was on the horizon. But as soon as Saturday came about, you had to think about Sunday. Now, I'm not a crazy person when it comes to Sunday, but I do like Sunday night because that's the more non amateur night. People are around. A lot of families go out to dinner, especially the Italians, the Jews. They go and they have this big dinner, like a big spaghetti dinner. They go get ravioli or pasta, and they get the. Did you like how I said that? The ravioli and the pasta, and they get the bread, right? The big. My late brother used to grab the bread. The bread. In fact, CNN. Have you been seeing these promos? Breaking bread with this guy. It's kind of a replacement for the Anthony Bourdain, who, God, I'm still bewildered, as many of you are, that Anthony Bourdain took his life. He must have had something that we didn't know about, some hidden demon. In any event, Sunday night, we used to go out to dinner, the big, big, big dinner. We usually got to a place like a big seafood house, or we had ravioli, or we went to this place near the square and we'd have pasta and the bread and the butter, the bread and the butter. My brother grabbed the bread, grabbed all of the bread, and he got a second loaf. But anyway, on CNN, yeah, they're going to have a thing called Breaking Bread, which sounds on the face of it rather ludicrous, but it's out there. So Sunday night used to be a big to do, and I am going to turn this into a variety show for a variety of reasons. You can talk about anything. You want to comment, you need to ask questions, you want my opinions on various things, you can do so. Um, so people are exhausted. And I say that with utmost conviction and sincerity. People are tired and they're exhausted. I'm not just talking physical tiredness, I'm talking about everything mental, mental, physical, the whole shebang with all this news. Most of it is very depressing, right? It's very depression between the guy that got shot, and Trump and politics and the culture and the movies. And, this is the time of the year, folks. You know what I'm talking about, where people are sort of depressed. Even the people that have their lives together, the nuclear families, the boys, the girls, the kids, everything, because the days are noticeably shorter, right? And school's back. Halloween is just around the corner. Although, frankly, I saw an ad the day after the 4th of July. It was a Disneyland ad, and they were talking about Halloween. Mind you, we just got through the 4th of July, and they're talking Halloween already. I'm waiting for the first Thanksgiving ad and the first Christmas ad. After all, right? We're what? Only 3 months left in this year about that. And pretty soon we're going to be talking about Christmas and then New Year's. And then before then, we're going to talk about the end of the year, and 2026 will be on our tail right around the corner. And we'll be talking about 2025 as a yesterday kind of year, a yesterday kind of event. But in truly all honesty, I want to turn this worldwide bonanza right now into a variety show, because I know a lot of you don't have a lot to do. A lot of you, it's Sunday night. You're thinking about Monday morning and the trip into the office. Those of you that still work in the office and not out of your homes. Although I know a lot of people that work out of their homes on Monday and Friday, and they choose to go back into the office on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I still haven't related to that yet because of COVID. Think of how much our lives have changed because of COVID. Our daily rituals are different. We have different work strategy, where we work, when we go to work, how much that all did to us and changed our lifestyle and altered the way we go about our ways and means. What's it been now? 5.5 years? Oh my God. Oh my goodness. We are after dark. I am Rich Lieberman on the advent of a new show, but it's really not a new show. It's an old show that I haven't done in a while because, boy, does it take a lot out of me. And what I try to do is invite all of you. So far, not many people have arrived yet, but there will be. Um, to come into the chat room, the super chat room, and you can ask me anything you want to ask. If you want me to sing like Frank Sinatra, I will most certainly consider it. If you want me to tell a joke or two, if you would like me to do impressions, if you would like to do an impression, you're not going to be able to. No, I'm just kidding. You have to call me. You can text me. What's the magic number for a text? Well, I'm glad you asked. Area code is 415-999 4454. You can text. You can do whatever you want to do. You want to send me a joke? You want to send me a riddle? You want to give me a tip? You could do that. You can also email me at rich.lieberman, Lieberman, rich.lieberman@gmail.com. But I mentioned at the start, everybody is exhausted. I'm exhausted. And I know most of you are exhausted. I said it wasn't just physical exertion. It's everything. Why? The news. All of that. All these incidents, all these various things that we're dealing with. Some of it not so cheerful, a lot of it, quite frankly, depressing, but we're out there. Um, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing a live show, which I normally do anyway. But tonight it's going to be real old school, old fashioned Sunday night after dark. And again, this time of the year depresses me. I never liked it as a kid because I liked the sunlight. I liked daylight and early in the morning, and now that's all screwed up when we have this time of the year pretty soon. The Schmendricks are going to tell us to turn our clocks back, and then we're going to have that awful, crappy, inconvenient deal. Every year we talk about this. Got to set the clocks back. Why? Why can't we leave well enough alone? It screws everybody up. And you know what, folks? These politicians, they must have been paid off by somebody. I don't know whether it's the farmers or whomever, because I'll tell you something. This effed up daylight savings time and whatever the hell it is, it screws everybody up. Why mess with everybody's routine and leave it the hell alone? And we say it every year, right? Every year we say, don't do this. It's especially irritating and gruesome in the spring when we have to set the clocks forward. That crap. And everybody is exhausted. Speaking of being exhausted, everybody's annoyed, and your body is all screwed up. Your mental clock is screwed up. They screw with that. Why? Nobody knows the hell why. When I was a little kid growing up, they used to say, oh, the farmers are behind it. And there was the school teachers, and the parents didn't want their kids coming to school in the dark. Look, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it sure pisses me off and many millions of others. Yet, nothing happens. Everybody is screwed with, everybody is all ticked. And here we are, about what, a couple of weeks away? Maybe it's a month. I think it's a month. Yeah, it's the first week of November, and we're all screwed up. Now, in this case, I know a lot of you like it because you get an extra hour of sleep, and you wake up and your normal routine is to go to the work, and yet you got another hour. But oh boy, it makes up for that great wonderment in the spring. But we're all exhausted. This has been a very tough year with all these incidents. The guy got shot and assassinated, and the excesses of the orange guy. And by the way, I say that with not a political agenda in my body because I don't have any agenda, but we're a little too tense. He makes us nervous, even those that support him. We're all nervous. I need water. Did you like my shot of my head? So I'm going to take a sip of water. Excuse me. Pardon me, am I bothering you? Okay. Now, I know a lot of you are wondering, what the hell were you drinking? You were drinking out of a jug and all that as I place myself back. Yeah, I was. Because the water out of that bottle is incredibly thirst quenching, and it just tastes a lot more refreshing. And then I want to schlep around a cup, and there I am. So, um, everything is crazy. We had some incidents taking place in the Bay Area. This sideshow shit is happening all at once again. And these kids, well, I sound like my dad now when he was alive. You kids today. But they have this sideshow stuff, and these kids, and they're like teenagers mostly, a little older, and they get in their cars and they go donuts, and they're screeching their wheels and tires, and they get off on this shit. I have no idea why. Well, they're kids, right? And to me, it's irritating. It's going to cause some humongous tragedy pretty soon. Somebody's going to get hit. and a whole lot of people are going to die. That's what happens with these shows. They're unorganized. They're oftentimes at night, and then they have various cops come in and they try to quell it and all that. Yet they're powerless. And like I said, even as a kid, I wasn't into racing my car and going around and around and doing donuts. I know a lot of people were into that, but they didn't carry it to an excess like we do experience what's taking place today, particularly in my neck of the woods. San Francisco is dealing with it, and Oakland, and LA, and Martinez, and San Diego. I know a lot of the folks down there are very, very disgruntled and fed up with these sideshows, as are folks, the cops. Cops don't like dealing with this shit, yet they do, and they have to. So we have that frustration, that anxiety pill taking place. What happened? Oh, on a sports note, the 49ers got beat by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Is it Jaguars or Jaguars? I always had problems with that name because as a kid growing up, I remember the original, the car, the Jaguar, or what was it called, the Jaguar or the Jaguar? I don't know how you. When it comes to the name of the team, I just say Jags. Anyway, boy, those were some fine ass looking cars, huh? The Jaguars or the Jags. I like the old executive model, the sedan. Then they had a convertible, and it went bye-bye because too many people were having problems with the engine and all the shit taking place. Wait a minute, my ear. Do you ever get those things where your ear, excuse me, it's weird. You get like there's a horn or some kind of thing where it's, and then it stops, I hope. Yeah, it stops now. Yeah, I had a weird thing happen involving my ear. I know a lot of you, the thing with the wax, right? And it's very difficult these days to set up an appointment where you can get well, I mean, you could do it via an appointment, but where you can have the earwax removed. Boy, am I spoiling your dinner at all? It's earwax, right? Um, how the hell did I get to that thing? Okay. I told you we go everywhere. And those of you who are waiting for me to talk about Ron Owens and Laura Owens, I'll get to it pretty soon because I know a lot of you are interested. And Jan Black, who is Ron's wife. And they're not talking. They haven't talked well over 2 months. Owens and the daughter is completely, I hate to say it, but I think she's a little. And mind you, I'm very sympathetic to that situation. I'm not a parent. I can only imagine if I were a parent and experiencing this mother of all dilemmas, I I don't know what I'd do. I don't know how I would react. I'd be absolutely tormented and angry too, and also feeling somewhat crazy. Vicky, hello, Vicky. It's my stalker here. No, Vicky, I'd say that. Vicky, I don't know who you are, but you look cute on your little emoji, whatever it is. Um, Good evening, Rich and chat. Hi, Vicky. Yeah. Oh, so you must have saw my thing on X, Twitter, whatever they're calling it. But Vicky, you're always here. So I've told people that I haven't done a show like this in a couple of weeks. And I had a good response from people, especially those of you in the super chat. And what I said I was going to do, Vicky, with no prepared notes, this is after all a variety show. A variety show? What the hell was I talking there? A variety show where I explained to everybody, and there'll be a lot of people coming into the chat room. And those of you that are coming into the chat room and the super chat room, please, like Vicky, my future ex-wife. Just kidding. Boy, would I love that, huh? uh, don't be afraid to ask me a question. Don't be afraid to chime in. And if you're a very attractive woman, or even if you're not, feel free to flirt, although I am expensive. I'll tell you that right off the top of my head. I'm very, very expensive. So don't even think of trying to get me on the cheap, ladies. But Vicky and others, if you have questions, I was kidding, by the way, folks. Um, see, that's the thing too. I I don't know anybody who has a perfect or even close to a perfect relationship these days because everybody is exhausted and tired and with all this crazy news and people being shot and people being screwed with and fires. There was a shooting today somewhere in Michigan, right? And I mentioned there's that. Got the crazy guy, although he's not that crazy, but red hair man in the White House. We've got that. We've got the guy that got shot and the after effects of that. People need something to chew on. In my case, I'd like a porterhouse, medium well, little baked potato. Uh, Please limit the butter, but I'll take plenty of the horseradish and the chives and all that good stuff that you put in a baked potato, right? My doctor once told me, I'm branching off because I was worried people they have guilty pleasures, right? And they love baked potato and they worry about all the shit that they put on the baked potato, like the butter and all the chives and the sour cream. That was what I was trying to think of. Sour cream and the bacon bits and all that shit. My doctor said, Vicky and others, he said, go nuts, go crazy. Enjoy that baked potato and just kill it. And you got all that other stuff on top and it tastes great. And someone once asked me, aren't you defeating the purpose of having that rich in potassium baked potato by putting all that glob of stuff that you shouldn't be really eating? Oh, come on. You know what I said? I told you, my doctor said, go out and enjoy it because the good stuff that you're putting into your body. So you put a little excess butter and you put the sour cream and the chives and the onions and all that stuff. And it has to be the chivy. It's got to be those scallion onions, right? The ones that kind of flake around. My doctor was very conservative. Jewish doctor, good Dr. Cohen goes, go crazy, enjoy yourself. It's like if those of you who are diabetics and you worry about eating natural sugar shit like fruit, right? Watermelon, uh, what's that good stuff that have the little seeds that you can drink? Pomegranates. Those anybody? Oh, Vicky's single. Vicky, be careful. I'm a homeowner. I have credit. No, I'll take you up on that, Vicky. As long as I'm very expensive. So what was it? Oh yeah, the baked potato. And then I was talking about fruit. So my doctor, again, very conservative guy, Dr. Cohen. He stopped practicing a couple of years ago, but he always used to tell me, "Look, go out, eat fruit. It's got sugar in it. Everything's got sugar, right? Everything's got. Remember the salt? Now salt has become the new sugar." And I'm fixing and altering my camera here. There, okay. So I got this going. I got a compliment it. I'll get back to the sugar and the salt and all that, and the fruit and the vegetables. Um, Somebody likes and I don't like hair, right? Is that crazy? I'm not. I'm like, yeah, Anderson Cooper, and then there's the guy on MSNBC, Ali Velshi, and all that. But yeah, so go figure. I never was into hair, so I never understood that hair is sort of the valor of, I guess, youthfulness. But my future ex-wife here, Vicky, uh, oh, Vicky's in SoCal though. But I don't know, Vicky. Do you mind the fact that I've got this and it's on purpose because I don't deal with hair and all these hair care ads. By the way, do you notice now on especially Sunday, all these channels, what are the the majority of ads now. Can you name it? I can. Oh my God. All these pharmaceutical ads. And the lawyers are now advertising, and it's just one thing after another. Um, one ad after another. The pharmaceutical ads and the lawyers. That's all you see. I mean, I know there's a couple of things that pop up, but it's all these lawyers and all the pharmaceutical ads leading to, come to a conclusion. Geez, I wonder where they're spending their billions of dollars. But that, anyway, it's another story. So, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the fruit. Don't eat fruit because it's got sugar, but then eat fruit because it's got a lot of good things. And pomegranates supposed to be the greatest thing you could put into your body. In my case, it's not a woman. The last time I was in a woman was at the Statue of Liberty. Okay, that's a joke. And those of you that got it right away, great. Those of you that didn't, well, tough shit. So, yeah, fruits and then the vegetables, and then with the vegetables, if you put too much this and too much fat because you put the dressing on, oh, okay, so I'll do a lot of oil and vinegar. Yeah, but vinegar's got enzymes that go to your brain and explode your head, and then you look like Rich, and then, whatever. So you can't win. You cannot win. So you know what I say? It's like the guy that was a health freak, right? Looked at everything, calories, counted this, that, the other. One day, Mr. Buff, running in the middle of the street, got hit by a bus. A lot good that did him, right? The counting calories and eating good stuff and all that. Got hit by a bus. So, as Dr. Cohen would tell me, go out, enjoy yourself. No, don't eat 15 gallons or tubs of popcorn. I mean, that's a little excess, and kind of back off on putting salt on everything. It's like sugar too. They tell you don't have the sugar. You got to put the fake sugar, which then the other shit that you put in that are substitute sugar could cause to other things. You can't win. You can't win. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So this is like my son. Hey folks, Vicky, are you still there, Vicky? Vicky, Vicky, oh, Vicky, oh, Dr. Vicky. Let's see. Welcome to the chat. Good evening. Oh, Vicky's my only, Vicky, should we just break this little deal here and me and you will go back to my place I'll do my Peter Falk impression. Excuse me, am I bothering you? Anyway, where was I? Yeah, I guess, you know what? I never considered this. Well, I did. But people are watching the football game, right? The NFL is king. And everybody watches. So it used to be Monday Night Football. Now they screwed Monday Night Football, and I have Sunday Night Football. So I'm up against that. And I literally, 15 minutes ago, I put up the post on Twitter, X, whatever the hell they call it, that I would be coming on in about 10 minutes. And I said, screw it. I'm ready to go now. And I came on a lot earlier than I had advertised. So you get to see a raw version of Rich. Ooh, that has symmetry. A raw version of Rich. Okay. That's why I chose After Dark, because then I could get away with things, right? By the way, YouTube, don't freak out. I'm going to honor my privilege of being on YouTube and doing a show. So I'm not going to talk about things that, quite frankly, are crazy, right? I got my vaccine shots. I got my flu shot, my so-called the pneumonia shots. I believe in science. She blinded me with science, 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 science. Remember that? Who did that? Vicky, do you know who did that song? Blinded me with science. Don't look it up on the Google. Who could get that? Okay. That was Thomas Dolby. Remember that? I believe 1979, or as Walter Cronkite would say, Thomas Dolby had an amazing single back in the fall of 79. It was called She Blinded Me with Science. Thank you. Thank you. That wasn't my Walter Cronkite needs a lot of, shall we say, amending because I don't do Cronkite other than, uh, good evening. I'm Walter Cronkite, and that's the way it is. Monday, September the 10th, whatever the hell he did. Of course, it was what? He's been dead now for almost 20 years. Is that crazy? Is that nuts? Did he die? Yeah, he died before 9/11. So, yeah. When I was in New York many years ago, he being Walter Cronkite. I bumped into him and I said, "Good evening, Mr. or good afternoon." It was an afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Cronkite. Big fan. Love your ethic. Love the fact that, one of those things. And he was really cool. Put his hand out and I shook it and we lived happily ever after. But no. What was I talking about? I branch off. That's my thing. Vicky, are you still here? Vicky. I want to let's. Hey, Vicky, do me a favor, okay? Since you're the only one here, and again, a few things, just on the record. I posted on X that I was going to be coming on, and like I said, I'm up against Sunday Night Football, so maybe I should have waited till Monday. Well, of course, there's a football game on Monday. Maybe I should have waited till Tuesday. But I know a lot of people who are maybe not into sports, not into football, and they have dinner, or maybe they're having a late dinner today. And but thinking I was talking about all this kind of depressing moment that we're in where I said people are exhausted. And not just physically, but mentally exhausted because the news is crazy. It's that time of the year where the days are much more noticeably shorter, right? And now you wake up at like 6 o'clock or whatever. I wake up really early, right? And I look outside the window and there's whatever. And I notice it's still dark. And, when it's summertime, like everybody else, right? We all like summer. Most of us do. In the summertime, it starts getting light, at 5 o'clock, right? It does, especially if you live in the northern part of wherever you live, because, the sun's closer and all that. Boy, do I branch off and talk about just about anything and everything. So I just said that people are depressed, not totally engrossing depressed, but I know people that they just hate this time of the year. They hate it unless you're a kid and you're thinking about Halloween, and pretty soon after Halloween, you got fall is in full swing. You got Thanksgiving, which for me now has become a downer because most of my family's gone, right? So the holidays are another thing. I used to go to the bars and watch the football games and have some food and have a couple of beers and all that. But now that I don't drink anymore, it's like YouTube, a movie, which you can now watch in your house, and then Christmas, and that's just exhausting. Well, it is exhaustive. I guess I used the right word. It just didn't sound right. And anyway, everybody's kind of tired, literally tired, figuratively tired. We had all these terrible things that happened in the news recently. So, in any event, I branch off. Do I branch off into everything? Which, speaking of branching off into everything, who knows Stephen A. Smith here, right? That's the black guy who's works at ESPN and he screams. They call him Screaming A. Smith, um, but he's now will he's in big demand. And he's yelling and screaming still. Now he's got a political show. He's on all the various commentary shows. Speaking of Bill Maher, he was on the Bill Maher show. And I can't stand this guy. I can't. And I know too much about the business and I know things. This guy makes so many mistakes, right? I'm not even talking about his non-sports content. I'm talking about his sports. but he's just screaming and it's shtick. And now all of a sudden they go to him, they being these programmers. Oh, let's get Stephen A. Smith, and they who cares what his politics are? And he goes on the View, and he's been on these other shows. And oh, I'm thinking about running for president. Oh, geez, yeah, great. One, you're regular. So there's that. I'm not a fan. And I'm not a fan of Bill Maher. I think he's a pain in the ass. I don't give a shit that he smokes dope every day and probably more than that every hour. He look, he's got good writers, and I used to like his HBO show a hell of a lot more than I do now because his panels, they're all predictable, right? And I'm not a Maher guy. And he's supposed to be a real jerk, which I knew already anyway. I know a lot of comics and showbiz people, and people have told me, off the camera that he's an ass. So, which I know. But anyway, so now we're being fed. Have you noticed a lot of this? It's either Marr or Stephen A. Smith, as if I have to see Stephen A. Smith. And he yells, and look, he's a performer. He's an out and out performer. And he's putting on shtick. And, you think that guy screams like that? Nah. But look, good for him in that regard. Guy's made a living. Talk about a living. But it's just, I wasn't an Andy Rooney fan either. So it just goes to show it has nothing to do with age or style. I like people that give me commentary, that don't do shtick. And with Screaming A. Smith, it's just screaming. It's with Bill Maher. We have to hear about the fact that he is tired and he's got a certain routine and doesn't like certain people, and he's yelling and screaming that too. I hated Andy Rooney. Did I mention that? I think I did. But maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm old fashioned. So on the Ron Owens, Laura Owens deal, I might as well start talking about that. Maybe my voice and my algorithm will bring forth the fans. And all I was going to say about that was I left another couple of messages for Ron and Jan Black on their, what did I just say? Block. Jan Black. It's not her real name. It's just like Ron Owens is really Ron Lowenstein. But in any event, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, Owens. He's silenced up, isn't saying a word. And I got to feel that both Ron and Jan, I'm going to leave out the daughter because I don't know what kind of mental frame of mind she's in. They're tired and they must be under the gun. And those of you who have heard what I have said about, everything, and I can only imagine what they're going through dealing with a daughter who faces all these legal accusations and all that, including perjury and all that. So that's something to decipher. Are we still? Yeah. Vicky, let me know that you're still there. If not, and I see you're Southern California. Okay. Used to do the old Southwest, climb aboard that bird and go to LAX. Or my favorite airport down there is John Wayne. It used to be Orange County Airport. If I can avoid SoCal, or people say SoCal, I didn't mean it like that. LAX, oh God, Burbank, awesome. Or as I just stated, there's Long Beach Airport, though it's kind of hard to get into because a lot of airlines don't fly there. But in any event, yeah, I like the what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the airport. What was the airport? Oh God, I can't believe it. I just was speaking about it. So I mentioned Kennedy. No, I didn't. God, how did I get to that? I'm losing it, folks. I think I'm losing it, and I have a Rain Man's kind of memory. So the fact that I can't remember now the airport other than LAX. Oh, Long Beach. Oh, John Wayne. Yeah, John Wayne Airport. Um, and Long Beach, you got to go on like, Ricky Rio Rai kind of airline to get a flight into Long Beach. Maybe I'm wrong. Those of you, Vicky, if you're still there, your cursor hasn't moved, so what have you. Um, so I'm gonna test my poll here and give 5 minutes. If those of you that are here would continue to want to talk to me, I'm going to give my phone number out. You can call me. We can chit chat and say hi, and I'll announce when I'm coming back on. But those of you that follow me regularly or watch me or pay attention to me on Twitter, that's generally when I'm here and all that. And I hadn't been on for a while, so I thought, you know what I'm going to do? Okay. So what was I going to say? Oh, about the Ron. They're just not talking, folks. That's what I could report to you on that end. That they're not talking. And that goes not only for Ron, but of course Jan Black. And they have an impending legal case coming up at the beginning of the year in Scottsdale. So I can give you that information, which basically is nothing. But at least they can tell you officially they're just not talking to anybody. So we have that. Let me look over here. Okay. Vicky, still there. You're so Calvin. So Vicky, I'm gonna do something here and try see something here. Hold on. Okay. See if this works. Pardon me to other people who are saying, what the hell is Rich doing? Let's see here. Boy, did I butcher your name. Hi, Vic. God. So yeah, I'm going to come back on in well, unless I get just a onslaught of where were you? We were there, and maybe again the football game and all that. Right? It's monumental. Um, so let's see here. I'm going to try something here. I've never done this before, and see something. See how this works. Okay, let's see. There I am again. I moved around because there was a news item and it wasn't as huge as I thought it was going to be, and therefore there was a false alarm. But Vicky, wave. Okay, Vicky, what I want you to do because I want to see, I have questions to various people that I've contacted about what, and I'm just curious, what led them here, how long have they been here, that kind of a thing. So, Vic, you have my number, right? Those of you that want to ask me a question or text me, 415 that's three nines, 4454. Why do I do this with my hand? Okay. 415 999 4454. When I get off the air here momentarily, Vic, I would like for you, Vicky, excuse me, to give me a call because I want to ask you a question or two. And those of you, let's see, it's starting. Is it filling up now? No, no, no. The power of Sunday night football, right? So, I should have done a show last night, but I was busy doing errands and things of that nature. Oh, now everybody's coming in now. Oh, give me the number again. It's area code 415. Don't call it yet. 415 999 three nines 4454. And I'm also spoiled because I've done a lot of these shows, right? That I haven't done one in a long time. And it was packed. And I had texts from Canada. I had people letting me know that they watched my show. They were in Amsterdam, for God's sakes. I found that to be, and I had it verified, and sure enough, Amsterdam, which unique place. Yeah, 415-999-4454. If you have a text, a question, if you want to call, the old-fashioned phone call. So what I'm going to do is, and now, is it all Vicky? Oh, now we have Anthony. Richie Rich. Anthony Merkovich, is that what it is? Oh, now everybody's starting to come in. Laura, who's that? Oh, Liam Colapi. How did you guys know? I gave a very, very impromptu notice about this, that I was going to do a show and talk about various subjects. Laura Owens, those of you coming here late, there's nothing to report. She has gone, as has Ron Owens, as has Jan Black, not saying a word, which it's kind of weird. They have an excuse. They're going to say, well, we have an impending case and we can't talk, which that's plausible, right? Okay. Those of you in this super chat now, Anthony, Vicky, we'll talk pretty soon after I'm done with the show, because I want to ask you a question, and it's important. I sound like one of those guys on one of those overnight. I want to ask you a question, and it's important. As I sit here and talk about my fish oil, those of you who have never put fish oil into your body, it will cleanse you. It will deride you. It will make you feel wholesome. No, I was talking about all these pharmaceutical ads and the lawyers now, all these lawyers, these sleazeballs. Oh, I don't want to mention names, or they'll sue me. Talk about irony. But that's all you see now on these shows on Sundays. If you're watching CNN, or even talk about CNN and Fox and MSNBC, they're all these lawyers. And if they're not doing lawyer ads, it's the pharmaceutical ads. I mean, that's all there are. And they, of course, do promos and all that, but it's just, whatever. It's just my commentary. I'm somewhat in the minority on that. Let's go to Anthony. You've got a fish oil. You know what's ultimately hysterical is my friend, the late great Larry King, who is still doing like hemorrhoid ads, or the shit, speaking of fish oil, and he's been dead since February of 2020. So what, almost 4 years? No, more than that. 5 years. Larry King. If Larry were around today and he was on one of these shows, like my show, I'd ask him, like, Larry, they're still using your appearance with that goofy doctor guy or whatever on late night television in the wee hours. Larry, they're still, of course, you can't get paid, Larry, because you're dead, right? And Larry would answer something to the effect of like this. Yeah, I know, they put me on the air. It's amazing, unbelievable. I'm sitting there talking about fish oil, talking about laxatives, and they put me on the air, and I can't believe it. I'm getting paid, although I'm not getting paid now because I'm dead. I'm up having a corned beef sandwich up in heaven, and I just talked to my friend Anthony Mason and Jackie Mason, his son, and I can't believe it. They're paying me, and I've been dead. Why are they doing it? It's my Larry King, by the way. Okay, round of applause. And if you like my impressions, then throw me a buck or two or three or four, what have you. Since we're in the super chat, and now it's filling up. See, I was about to take off, and my future ex-wife Vicky here. I said, Vicky, I have to ask you a question. Which, Vicky, if you're still there, I still have to ask you a question. That was what Larry King, remember, he used to say, sir, what is your question? Get to the point. Larry King here. Schenectady. Hello. Excuse me. Water time. Water. I found the mountain and it is water time. Excuse me, folks. If I don't do this, Actually, that was actually distilled vodka. No, it wasn't. I don't drink anymore. And, you know, I know people that they still drink and all that, and they don't really like alcohol, right? But they use it because, the so called those that it medicates me kind of thing. But now that I haven't had a drink, and by the way, I wasn't not by not drinking. It's just I don't care for it anymore. And it doesn't do anything for me. And yes, the taste, unless, I wanted to get shit faced to take away pain. Yeah, but it just doesn't do anything for anymore. So, um, no, that was water. That was water. Okay. And I was telling people earlier, the reason why I drink it out of the jug and not in cups, folks, for the life of me, I have the worst fucking luck there is. I drop for no apparent reason. I drop cups. It could be any cup. It could be a coffee cup. It could be whatever. And it doesn't matter. And the more murkier, the crappier, I really drop it, like coffee, right? And the reason why, yeah, I don't have cups because my luck, I'll spill it on the computer and then I'm really fucked, right? So I drink out of the jug. It sounds like a line from a porno movie, right? So I drink from the jug. Okay, man, I'm going to try to, okay, we got Vicky. I'm going to try to acknowledge everybody here. Anthony, I already said hi. We have two Anthonys? No, we have one. Laura, is that Laura or Liam? Liam, I'm sorry. Anthony, Laura, and yeah. So I have to repeat myself because some of you just got in here. There's nothing to report about Ron Owens and Laura Owens and Jan Black. There's just nothing there. And they haven't said anything publicly, even, I don't know if privately, but I thought I would tell you because I hadn't been on the air for a while, and I decided to do one of my shows, and I was complaining and talking about the fact that everybody is exhausted these days, right? With this shitty news, and everybody's anxious, and the people that they're putting before us online, streams, all this Stephen A. Smith, who I think is a giant waste of time, doesn't do anything for me. And he yells and he screams and he's like, I don't get it. I really don't. Oh, the man's screaming. He used to be a sports guy on ESPN, where I guess he still is. Doesn't do anything for me. He's just trying to be screaming and, manufacture drama. And I do in a way get it. And as I said, I have no gripes. Good for him. He's made a humongous amount of money, and everybody's kind of, well, what's he going to say? Whatever. And Bill Maher, who has great writers, folks. You have great writers. They make you look like gold. Then, not to say that Maher isn't talented. I'm not saying that, but I don't give a shit that he likes to smoke dope, which he tells us every 5 minutes. And that stupid show he's got on YouTube where he's drinking and smoking the cloak cigarette or whatever the hell. I don't think maybe he's smoking dope, which you could do now. It's legal. But it's supposed to be like, look at me, I'm hip, I'm in a drink, in the drink class, a quart of scotch or whatever the hell he is, and he's drinking he had a show on. He does that show. What is it called? Somebody out there know. But he does a thing. Oh, yeah, something random opinion or something. And he's had some good guests on, right? He had on Woody Allen. He had on, who did he have? He had Charlie Kirk on. I didn't see that one. But he had from Hall & Oates. He had Daryl Hall on. And every other fucking time with the booze and the smoke, and he just sits there. And this is supposed to be ingenuity. This is supposed to be cool. But I just find the guy annoying, and a lot of people find me annoying, mostly women. But I'm not out there trying to tell people what to do, and I just think there's far more compelling people out there that are pundits that I'd like to see, frankly, give their 2 cents. And we've been ingested, infected with Bill Maher, who every time, right, you see him, he looks like he's constipated, right? I'm gonna drink more scotch. I think that's scotch. And I'm gonna smoke a joint because I'm so hip. Oh, that's really, really groundbreaking, Bill. Somebody asked me, well, aren't you in any way, well, let me rephrase that. Wouldn't you want to be on that show? Hell yes, I would be. I love that show, HBO. But keep in mind, he supposedly is a real asshole. And I've known this because I know a lot of comedians. And he's an asshole. He's the kind of guy that would really fuck with you. I'm talking about people, which he has. He's fucked with a lot of people. And his Billy Joel interview, which got a lot of derision from various people, and including, I think, although he wouldn't say it publicly, Billy Joel himself. This was right after Billy Joel had his little thing with his brain, right? And Mars asking these questions, and it's all so arrogant and smug, right? And Billy Joel's like looking at him, and he had to plug something. Maybe whatever. Maybe he understood the fact that Mars got an audience, which he does, and he got timing, and everything in the world is timing, right? Life, personal life, career, it's all timing pretty much. So yeah, now we have a full room, I think. Those of you in the giving mode, if you want to throw me, I will do. Who wants to hear some impressions? We got Anthony. We got Vicky out there? No, we've got. Let's see, Liam, Anthony. Let's see, we've got. Oh, there's Vicky. I always enjoy your Bay Area media history. Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I could be history if I don't keep this up. It's hard work, folks. No, it isn't. Bullshit. It's not hard work. It's called lasting. It's called preparing. I don't prep. I say what's on my mind. I don't do contrived preparations and all that stuff. Because, and I'm not putting down people who do that. In fact, speaking of Larry King, remember the whole thing with Larry? He used to always say, I never read the book. He'd have on an author. I never read the book. I'm curious. I want to ask questions because I'm curious. Folks, Larry didn't read the book because he was lazy. And he got away with it because he was so good and his engaging personality to where he could ask various people. And people love doing his show, right? Frank Sinatra, and politicians and celebrities and people like Sharon Stone, who didn't do a lot of talk shows and entertainment shows, but Larry got everybody. And Larry was pretty cool doing that. Let's see. Have a great night, Rich. Thanks again for what you do. Would love to see you host a show with John Rothman. Hello, I'm KG. This is KGO. I'm John Rothman. John Rothman, those of you who don't know what the hell I'm doing, was a talk show host. We talk about politics, and he's still around and is doing very well. He's just not on radio anymore because KGO, which used to be our giant of an industry talk show channel, is now gone, non-existent. They got rid of it. So John Rothman on this voice, he would talk like this. Good evening, sir. I would remind you that in 1972, when Watergate was just starting to emerge, that's how he talks. So I might have him on again. It's just he's always busy and he's traveling with his wife and all that. And no, I'll get him on. And as soon as I can figure out how to do a conversation via phone on this channel, we'll have him on. So Liam answering your question, I hope. Anthony, what do we got? LOL, I have no idea. And that's about it. So once again, if you have a question and you want to ask me something, 415, you can text me or call me 415 999 4454. If you want to email me, it's rich.lieberman, Lieberman at gmail.com. If you have a tip, if you want to have an idea about a program, you can do that. If you're a woman and are desperate, I'm half kidding. Anyway, yeah, it was a weird day here in the Bay Area too, because we had the 49ers loss and the whole town goes to hell, the whole area. Oh, they lost. Big deal. And then the weather, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, like big rain, not sprinkles. And for me, I love it. Not 7 days in a row, but it cleans the streets, the air smells good, the coffee tastes better, right, folks? Am I right on this? See, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not one to do, juggling and act stupid and scream and go sit on the toilet and talk to you while I do this. I don't claim to be Carol Burnett. Well, that would be a revelation, huh? Rich Lieberman is in secret Carol Burnett. No. But I love, as a kid growing up, I loved the old variety shows. So I said to myself, I'm going to do After Dark again. That's my little concocted name of the shows that I do here. And I thought I would, entertain some of you who complain justifiably you have nothing to do. Maybe there's no good movies. Maybe you're tired of that. You go on YouTube, and which I think is phenomenal, by the way. Am I kissing ass right now to YouTube? I am. Because Lord knows I do other shit that they probably get annoyed and threaten to take me off. But no. So I just do this to entertain you guys. And some of it works, some of it doesn't. I have an acquired taste. You say tomato, I say tomato. By the way, I had, ladies and gents, the most killer salad today. Because I love tomato, I love olive oil, that extra virgin olive oil, and I had like a arugula, but it tastes good. And the salad and the onions, and you talk about nirvana, right? And suddenly, when I was eating my salad, I got a knock at the door, and it was Holly Berry. She goes, "Hi, Rich. Remember me? Yeah, you met me at the Batman screening, and I came up to you, and I thought you were hot." It's the worst impression of Holly Berry, who, by the way, still looks fabulous. She's what, 60, 61? Not old. Ladies, don't bitch and moan about turning a certain age. Sometimes it's okay. Okay? Holly Berry just gets better looking with time. Okay? All right, enough kissing ass. But the salad. Oh God, did I have a salad today? And it was good and it was tasty and it was filling and it was like I think after taxes it was like $500 is what I paid. No. It was a lot of money, but it had avocado. Oh my God, avocado. That's why I was talking about Holly Berry. She loves avocado, right? So no, she didn't knock on the door. That would have been a mistake. And I would have screwed it up anyway. I would have said something like, "Hey, Holly, how about them Niners?" And she would have like, "Hi. I was in your dreams and I really was going to come to your door and take part in a really nice dream, but you screwed it up." And I would be like, I'd wake up and, I'd say, "Boy, did I fuck that up." So I had a great, great salad with the arugula and the tomato, which was like a beefsteak tomato cut in like three, right? So I had the green, I had the red onion and the cheese. It was like little pieces, so it wasn't a lot, right? And an avocado with the olive oil. Folks, did I nosh that? It was so good. And then after I washed it down with a cheeseburger no, I'm kidding. Kidding, I'm kidding. Well, that sounds good right now. No. I didn't have a cheeseburger. So who do we have in here now? Have a great night, Rich. Okay, I've seen that before. Do you guys want me to leave right now? Because I don't have many people here, and I got to talk to Vicky about our marriage plans. Vicky and I are getting married, and it's going to be live broadcast on Newsmax. My joke. It's my own little pleasure. So 415-999-4454 is the tip line. You can also call me, text me. If you are in a super chat, you want to throw me a couple of bucks so I can continue to pay my lawyers so they can continue to ward off stalkers, please do so. So I'm going to be on there another 5 minutes, and then I'm going to take a break, and I might come back, but more than likely I will be back on Monday. Probably do a show, a late show. And I appreciate those of you who have come here and have sent me like texts or emails saying you really like what I do. And that's why I'm here. I'm here for you. Like those preachers that daven on Sunday morning. I'm here for you. I'm just making this up, but I'm Reverend Jimmy Smith. And I'm asking you to put your money in the cup. Ladies, take your Social Security and give me money. No, I'm just kidding. I've seen those shows, and I'm like, well, geez, what the hell is this, right? So it's late Sunday. I know some of you are on the East Coast, some of you are on the West Coast, some of you are in the middle of like Iowa, and they're saying, "Who is that guy? He's crazy. Like he's nuts. Where did that guy come from?" Something to that effect. So I'm going to take a break and let you guys go. And once again, thanks for watching, and we will see you Monday. If you want to check out my social media at X, Twitter, to see the exact time, it'll be late on Monday, but more than likely, if my voice can make it through, I will be back tomorrow night, Monday, and we will have a lot of fun. We'll do this when I have more time. We'll do this and I'll promote it, and we can have, again, I might have some jugglers come by, magicians, lawyers, toiletries, plumbers, and we just might kind of go nuts and go crazy. So with that, I will see you later.